Thank you for planning a field trip to the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore. We created this presentation to help you plan and prepare for your field trip visit. Zoos have changed a lot over the centuries and decades. Once primarily menageries, modern accredited zoos are centers for conservation. That is, protecting species and their habitats. We work to carry out our mission through research, education, and support of partner conservation organizations working in the field. As a science-based organization, the Maryland Zoo is a great place to have your students carry out project-based learning experiences or practice their scientific observation and analysis skills. Be sure to check out the resources available for you and your students on our website. We'll highlight a few of these resources at the end of this presentation. The Maryland Zoo is a not-for-profit organization. We are fortunate to have grant support from the Maryland State Department of Education to provide free admission to your students for their field trip. To take advantage of the grant funding, you will need to request your reservation through the zoo's website. Please allow up to 2 weeks for your reservation request to be processed. The busiest months to visit the zoo for a field trip are April, May, and early June. If you can plan a visit outside of these months, we definitely recommend it. Smaller crowds typically allow for quicker entry into the zoo, an improved view of exhibits, and easier access to food and restroom facilities. Regardless of when you choose to visit, keep in mind a few key points. Storage for lunches is not available, so be sure to make a plan for students or their chaperones to carry lunches. Seating is available for eating lunch at Celebration Hill near Eagle Gate, in Zoo Central, and at the Oasis at the back of the zoo. This seating is first come, first served, and it is limited. Larger groups will generally not be able to sit together for lunch. Most field trip visitors opt to eat lunch in their smaller chaperone groups, finding an available bench, table, or even a patch of grass on the hill near Polar Bear Watch. The zoo's security team is responsible for all first aid needs on zoo grounds. If a member of your group needs first aid, please ask a zoo staff member or volunteer for assistance. They will contact security for you. The security team can also help if a student gets separated from your group. Let's go over some logistics for your visit so that you can know what to expect and set your students up for a great day. First, let's talk chaperones. We know the policies for chaperones vary from district to district and from school to school, but please keep in mind that here at the zoo, we require 1 adult for every 8 students, and students of all ages, including middle and high school students, must be directly supervised by their chaperones at all times. Groups not properly chaperoned may be asked to leave the zoo. Chaperones are critical to a safe and engaging field trip. Your field trip confirmation email will contain a link to a number of field trip resources, including a handout that you can print out to share with all your chaperones. You can also view these items at any time by visiting the Learn section of the zoo website. The field trip resources also include a zoo map. Be sure to print copies for all of your chaperones. Zoo maps will not be available for groups at the gate. If you're arriving to the zoo by bus, you'll likely be directed to Parking Lot C. Buses can either park here or drop students off. If you're visiting during the busiest months, generally April, May, and June, your group will likely enter through Eagle Gate, which is reserved for school groups. At other times of the year, field trip groups will typically enter through the zoo's main gate. We strongly encourage chaperones to ride the buses with the students, but if you do have members of your group arriving by car, They will be directed to park in the main zoo parking lot and will be asked to wait for your group's arrival in the marked chaperone waiting area. For the safety of everyone, those arriving by car are not permitted to enter the bus parking lot. Staff and volunteers will alert those in the chaperone waiting area when their group arrives. Please review this process with chaperones so they know what to expect. Once your group is off the buses, you will work with a member of our visitor services team to process your entry pass. This staff member will review with you the attendance numbers on your entry pass and will determine whether you will need to go to the cashier window. If so, you will head to the window while the rest of the group is directed into the zoo and down the walking path. Keep in mind that during the off-season, group leaders should plan to enter via the zoo's main gate. At the end of your visit, you'll want to leave enough time to make your way from the main part of the zoo back to the bus lot. Even if your group entered at the Eagle Gate, you will still exit the zoo via the main zoo gate. You can either take the zoo shuttle or use the walking path. On the busiest days, the walking path can actually be the quicker option, but leave at least 20 minutes to walk from Zoo Central to the main gate. The zoo's education department has prepared a variety of materials to enhance your field trip visit. Let's look at a few of them. Get students excited about their upcoming field trip with one of our field trip videos. These videos were developed to help prepare students for what to expect during their visit and set them up for a successful day of learning. Versions are available for elementary students and for secondary students. Looking to engage students throughout their visit? We've got you covered. Gone are the days of boring field trip worksheets. Instead, give students a virtual peek behind the scenes with our Behind the Scenes on Your Screen video tour. From the comfort of your classroom or the convenience of a cell phone during your visit, you and your students can view a series of short videos about the ways different people at the zoo help care for the animals. Keep an eye out for Behind the Scenes on Your Screen signs around zoo grounds to prompt you to view a video on your device, or visit the zoo's website to view the videos before or after your field trip. Encourage chaperones to guide students with one of our themed zoo treks. These themed self-guided tours are available in different versions for grades K to 2, 3 to 5, and 6 to 12. All zoo treks are aligned to next generation science standards and to Maryland College and Career Ready standards. Check out the accompanying zoo trek teacher guides on the website for details. To facilitate even deeper curriculum-based learning during your field trip, book a zoo lab. Programs must be booked in advance and an additional fee is required. To learn what programs are available, check out the Classes at the Zoo page on the zoo website. You can even work with the zoo's educators to have a program developed on a custom topic. Looking for resources for students needing a little extra support? Check out our 2 social narratives to prepare students for what to expect when they arrive at the zoo and while they're on grounds. And don't forget to follow the zoo's educators on Twitter. Feel free to tweet us photos of your favorite field trip moments or tell us about animal-related projects you're working on in your classroom. We hope this presentation is helpful for planning your field trip. If you have additional questions, feel free to contact the zoo's education department at fieldtrips@marylandzoo.org. We can't wait to see you at the Maryland Zoo. Have a great visit.